Hey everyone, welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Today we're going to do something a little bit different.
Oh, yeah.
We are going to try to simulate a therapy session.
Interesting.
So one of us is going to play the role of the therapist,
Okay.
and the other one will be the patient,
Cool. So we're basically going to give our listeners a glimpse.
right into what a therapy session might actually be like.
And what's really cool about this is that we can actually demonstrate
Yeah.
some of these therapeutic techniques in action.
Exactly. So we talk about these concepts all the time on the show.
Yeah.
Like active listening and different approaches to
Yeah.
therapy, but to actually see it in action,
Yeah.
I think is going to be really valuable for the listeners.
Absolutely. And I think, for folks who have maybe always been curious about therapy,
Yeah.
but have never actually gone, this will be a really cool opportunity to kind of see what it's like.
Yeah, maybe demystify it a little bit.
Exactly.
And maybe even if you're someone who's thinking about going to therapy, this could be a good way to kind of get a sneak peek.
Yeah, get your feet wet a little bit.
Exactly.
And, even if you're a seasoned therapy veteran,
Yeah.
you might pick up on some new insights or different strategies
Sure.
by sort of observing this interaction, because
Uh,
therapy is a constantly evolving field.
Absolutely. All right, so are you ready to put on your therapist hat
I am ready.
and guide me on this journey of self-discovery?
Absolutely. Let's begin.
All right.
So tell me what brings you in today.
Well, lately I've been feeling a bit overwhelmed.
Mm.
Work has been very demanding, and I'm really struggling to find a good balance between my professional life and my personal life.
I hear you saying that you're feeling the pressure of these competing demands.
Yes.
And it's really important to acknowledge those feelings and give yourself permission to experience them.
Okay.
It's not uncommon at all to feel overwhelmed in today's fast-paced world.
Yeah, that's true. I often feel like I have to be on all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and it's exhausting. And I start to feel resentful, like I'm losing myself in the process.
That feeling of resentment is something that we can definitely explore further.
Okay.
Can you tell me a little bit more about what it feels like to be on all the time?
It's like I have to present this perfect, polished version of myself, both at work and in my personal life.
Okay.
And I'm constantly worried about what other people think.
Yeah.
And I never feel like I can truly relax and be myself.
So there's this pressure to maintain a certain image.
Yes.
And it's leaving you feeling depleted and disconnected from your authentic self.
Yeah,
It sounds like you're carrying a very heavy burden.
I am. It's a lot. And I don't even know where it comes from.
Okay.
It's like I've always been this way, always striving for perfection.
That's a very insightful observation. Many times these patterns originate from our past experiences, often from childhood. Would you be open to maybe exploring some of those early influences?
I'm a little nervous to dig into all of that,
Sure.
but I also know it can be really helpful.
That's perfectly understandable.
Okay.
Therapy is a process, and it's always at your own pace.
Okay.
The most important thing is that you feel safe and comfortable exploring these potentially vulnerable areas.
Right.
We can take it one step at a time.
Okay. That makes me feel better.
Good.
So where do we go from here?
One approach we could take is to explore those early experiences that you mentioned.
Okay.
Perhaps there were certain messages that you received in your childhood about the importance of achievement or meeting certain expectations. We can kind of gently unpack those messages
Okay.
and see how they might be influencing your behavior in the present.
That sounds like a good starting point.
Okay.
I'm ready to delve a little deeper.
Excellent. And remember, you're in the driver's seat.
Okay.
You guide the pace and the depth of our exploration.
This has been really eye-opening already. Even just talking about it out loud is helping me see things in a new light.
That's the power of therapy.
Yeah.
It creates a safe space to process your thoughts and feelings, to gain clarity, and to ultimately empower you to make positive changes in your life.
It's amazing how just verbalizing what's been swirling around in my head makes it feel less overwhelming.
That's because putting words to your emotions helps to regulate them. It's like taking something very abstract and giving it form and structure.
So for our listeners who might be curious about therapy, what's one key takeaway you would want them to remember from this?
I would say the most important thing to remember is that therapy is not about fixing you.
Okay.
It's about providing you with the tools and the support to understand yourself better and to create a more fulfilling life. It's a journey of self-discovery and growth.
And that journey can be incredibly empowering. I mean, just from this very short simulated session, I feel like I've already gotten some valuable insights.
Absolutely. And remember, this is just a very small glimpse into the therapeutic process. There are countless approaches and techniques out there.
Yeah.
What works for one person may not work for another, so finding the right therapist and the right approach for you is crucial.
That makes sense. So as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of therapy today, what's one question you want to leave our listeners to ponder?
I would encourage everyone listening to consider what aspects of your life could benefit from a bit more introspection and exploration. Perhaps it's a recurring pattern of behavior,
Yes.
a challenging relationship, or simply a desire to understand yourself better.
That's a fantastic question to leave our listeners with.
Thanks.
And remember, seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness.
Couldn't agree more.
So whether you choose therapy or other forms of self-exploration,
Yeah,
prioritizing your mental well-being is a gift
absolutely.
that you give yourself.
It really is.
We hope you enjoyed this unique deep dive into the world of therapy.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
And we'll be back next week with another fascinating topic.
See you then.
Until then, happy exploring. Bye-bye.